Hi, I'm Michael Allison. I'm the Commercial Director at Roma Finance, and welcome to another edition of RomaTalks. Joining me today is a member of our senior leadership team, Charlotte Rutter, who's also our Head of Marketing as well. Hi, Charlotte.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. I'm a bit more relaxed than you, I think.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So as part of RomaTalks, one of the things we've been doing is getting to know some of our senior leadership team, understanding their experience, what the journey towards Roma, and also what's next as well. So tell me a bit about yourself.
Well, been with Roma now. I joined in January 2020, and then I rejoined again after furlough 2 months later, when the business came back. Yeah. So I've got about 21 years experience in marketing now, and 9 of it's been in finance. So I've moved around different industries, learned something in every single one of them. But I love finance. I just find it, property finance specifically, it affects everything else in the entire economy. And I love being part of something that has so much impact.
So why that's great. Why marketing? What led you to marketing when you left school, I guess?
I had absolutely no idea what I wanted to do.
Right.
None. I remember sitting at college in sixth form, looking through the big UCAST diary things that they had in the careers department back then. And I just had no idea. I went through loads of different options. My mum and dad kept saying to me, "You've got a business head. You need to go into business." And I just didn't like the look of accountancy or anything like that. No disrespect to anybody, but numbers is not my thing.
I'll tell the FD on when we have it on in a few
I'm sure he's
weeks.
going to love that with the budget. And I came across marketing, quite fancied it, literally picked my choice and decided that if it wasn't for me, then I'd be able to do something with the degree anyway. So that's how I ended up in it. I went through the courses. I absolutely loved it. And I've never looked back. So my career has always been in marketing since I left uni, many years ago now. Yeah. When I was at uni, there wasn't social media. That's how much it's changed.
So how have you kept up to date with all the changes then?
I train constantly. I'm always on training courses, listening to podcasts, listening to webinars, anything like that. Marketing is a complete evolution the whole way through. You have to keep up with it, or you just end up you're not really. It's not worth being in the field if you can't keep up with it. So you have to evolve with the times.
Certainly. So obviously, when my role changed at Roma, I started to work more closely with marketing and yourself, and I think it opened my eyes to in the past you always think marketing is somebody who just puts the pictures on the. Paper.
So we get the colouring in department, Mickey Mouse marketing, the arts and crafts corner. Yeah, we get all sorts.
So if I was to bring my daughter in, my 8-year-old daughter in, and say, just explain in a very simple sentence what marketing is, how would you explain it to her?
I would explain it as perfect synchronized communication. That's how I would do it. Because with marketing, you've got so many different ways to communicate, and you should utilize as many of them as you can to hit the most people. But also, anything that's seen as a fad is not necessarily a bad thing, because it's still a way to communicate with people. Like, think about COVID, and then we had all these different apps, didn't we? We had like House Party and stuff. Nobody's using those anymore.
No.
But they were a brilliant way to communicate with people, to advertise, and they served their purpose, and they still got a message out. So that's how I would describe it. And that's why I like it so much, because it changes so fast. And there's so many different things that you can do with all these communications. I mean, now we're sat here doing RomaTalks, and it's already proving that it's a great way to speak to people and have a voice.
Fantastic. So you've been with Roma for 4 years. Lots happened during that 4 years.
Yep.
What's your proudest achievement?
I think I came into Roma as the first official marketing person. They didn't have anyone dedicated to marketing before I came in. So I think it's just seeing the journey generally as we've gone on. We started with the old black and red logo, which I loved so much.
Well done on getting rid of the old
Thank
logo.
you. And we branded to Lending Less Ordinary, and now we've come through to Love to Lend. And I think the stages of the company, the stages of the branding, has been a complete evolution, as I've already said. But it's building that team as well. Now, I've got an amazing team that work with me, and seeing the development of all the people throughout the business. I think I was employee number 28 or 29 or something like that, and now we're on 62. And that's massive, considering that's 4 years. And a lot of those people actually have come in the last 2 years because we've grown so much. So, yeah, I think the general evolution of the business.
So what's next?
I think now I want to keep building my career. I have had young children, and they are starting to grow up a little bit now, so I can put more focus on my career path again. So I want to see how far I can go in marketing, in business, sticking with property finance, because I really genuinely find it really, really interesting. And then just keep having more time for me and my goals. So I'm trekking up the Atlas Mountains in September this year for Mind charity. So just making sure I actually take time to do the things that I want to do. I want to get back into education as well, and actually finish some more of my masters.
So, right, okay. And I suppose as well, it's when you think about the past 12 months, you as an individual have been recognised on 2 separate occasions. So you have to talk about yourself for a little bit now. Well, you've received 2 industry awards, haven't you? The first one being obviously Marketeer of the Year at the Women of Recognition Awards.
Yes.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And then the second one was the Benson Hirsch Memorial Award. Do you just want to tell us a little bit more what that was for? Yeah,
so that one, I'll say for the record that Michael and Scott coerced me into getting to the actual award ceremony because I had no idea what was going on.
Absolutely.
But it was for my contribution towards KIPSIP, which is the commercial finance course, like the equivalent of CMAP. And I had decided that I'm on a real mission to improve the reputation of the bridging industry, because there are still some old legacy reputational issues with it. And one of the ways you do that is, power is knowledge. So education. So I started putting together a course to help people, brokers specifically, in commercial finance and bridging and development. So I started writing it. I went to a meeting with FIBA and the ASTL. Turns out they were trying to do the same thing. So I handed it over because it's good for the industry. It's not about Roma. This was never about Roma. This was about improving the whole industry standards. So I handed the course over. I had some more input into the writing of the course and the exams. And I actually really surprised myself how much I really do know about it. And the course went live, and now we've got thousands of people actually signed up and taking the course. So the award was for my contribution for that. And I was very proud.
Well, it was richly deserved and a well-kept secret by Scott and I as well.
I was like, why are you being weird?
Well, there's many answers to that. So I think all that's left to say is obviously you're a real force of, I think I called you a force of nature once at Roma. And you
also
really
called me formidable.
Yeah, formidable. I've called you a few other things as well from time to time.
Yeah.
But certainly one thing is that you put everything into growing the brand of Roma, growing your team, growing us as a business, and actually also, as you've just said, having a positive effect into the wider industry. So it's, the 2 awards that you received are richly deserved on the work that you've done and continue to do. And as a colleague of yours, it's a pleasure working with you.
Likewise.
And thank you very much for your time today. And good luck walking up that hill is it Morocco?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How high is it?
I can't remember, but apparently I'm going to get altitude sickness.
Right, okay.
Brilliant.
Well, yeah, sounds like a great holiday.
Yay.
Not one for me.
For a good cause.
For a good cause. And it's one that I think hopefully after this video we might get a few more sponsors as well.
Yes, that would be great.
Well, thank you very much for joining us this week and look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you.